Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Off the Cuff live stream. I will be going live in 4 minutes. So, just here shortly. Don't forget to turn to the app to listen to the full broadcast in its entirety, or the website, radiolex.us. I actually posted a link of it on my profile, so if you want to click on that, you can. You'll be able to listen to the broadcast in its entirety. It's easier to listen to it from the audio than it is Facebook, because you catch things that you really can't pick up on the Facebook Live. So I play a lot of audio clips on this show, so it's easier to listen to just by listening on the app or on the website. All right, just 30 seconds.
This is Jamon from Success Academy. You are listening to Radio Lex, the voice of the people, WLXU 93.9 LPFM, Lexington, Kentucky.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of Lexington Community Radio or its board of directors. The views expressed are solely those of the programmers.
You are listening to Off the Cuff. Now, here's your host, Adam Banks.
Welcome everybody to Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks, coming at you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for tuning in to WLXU 93.9 FM. In addition to listening on the radio, you can check out our Facebook live stream at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, or you can stream the show live from the station website at radiolex.us to listen to us from anywhere in the entire world. I am broadcasting from the Deborah Hensley Studios here at Radio Lex on North Limestone. It is July the 3rd, 2025, which means, folks, we are just a day away of celebrating the independence of the United States of America. Thanks to July the 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence, largely written by Thomas Jefferson, was formally adopted by the Continental Congress. And ever since then, we celebrate the 4th of July. So the big day here in America will be tomorrow, the 4th. So stay safe out there. I'm sure it will be hot. I'm sure there will be a lot going on. Be mindful of the police out. Be mindful of getting a sober driver home this weekend. Usually when the 4th falls on a weekend, people make it a weekend celebration. They don't just limit it to one day. I have been hearing fireworks around my house for the last 3 to 5 days. And I guess everybody's just already ready for the 4th and ready to shoot off them fireworks. Just be safe as you celebrate them. And folks, because it is the 4th of July, it made me start thinking of a lot of patriotic things. And one of the most patriotic things I think that we have in this country is our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. When we sing the national anthem, it puts everybody in a patriotic spirit. It makes everybody feel good. It makes everybody feel gratitude for just being from America. And on this show before, I have talked about some of the worst national anthem performances to ever be. And boy, oh boy, was that a list. Roseanne Barr made the list. A lot of people who thought they could sing but really couldn't sing made the list. But to honor America this year, I would like to revisit that topic. But instead of talking about the worst national anthem performances of all time, I would like to talk about the best live national anthem performances of all time. Now, the national anthem, it's one of the most powerful songs a performer can sing. It's not just about hitting the right notes. It's about delivering emotion. It's about delivering pride and presence on a massive stage. And over the years, a few unforgettable renditions have stood out, turning a traditional anthem into a jaw-dropping moment of musical history. A lot of people don't like the national anthem to be touched much. And when I say not touch much, most people like it to be sang normally. They don't like when you add the he's and the haws and the woos and the oohs, and they add your little spin to it. They don't really enjoy it that much. But a little bit is okay. But when it starts to not sound like the national anthem, that's when people get frustrated. So these few people that I put on my list, because it's only a list of 5, I feel like put on the best national anthem performance of all time. Now, this is talking about live performances. I know a lot of people have recorded studio performances of the national anthem. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about live national anthem performances. People who have performed this song live, whether it be at a Super Bowl or an NBA playoff game or even a high school basketball game. You don't have to necessarily be famous to make this list, although all the people that made the list are. These people, I feel like, put on the best national anthem performances of all time. And folks, we have to start with Chris Stapleton. Now, I feel like that Chris Stapleton put on the best national anthem performance of any artist I've ever heard. Now, this list is in no particular order. It just so happens to be that Chris Stapleton is up first on my list. He performed his rendition of the national anthem at the 2023 Super Bowl. It was so great. It was just with a guitar and his soulful, raspy voice. Chris Stapleton, he delivered a very stripped down, emotionally raw version of the anthem that brought a lot of players, coaches, and fans to tears. You can go back and watch that performance on YouTube. You can see the coach of the Eagles boo-hoo crying. You can see all of the players. This sport where you have all of these macho men getting ready to go out and just tackle each other and kill each other for the next 4 hours are brought to tears by this man's voice. It was pure, it was powerful, and it was deeply heartfelt. It was a master class in how to sing the national anthem. Chris Stapleton, by far, put on one of the best renditions of that song I have ever heard. Now, next up, folks, on my list, and this is a short list, as I said, it comes from the Dixie Chicks, and the Dixie Chicks consist of 3 women. Natalie Maines is the lead singer of the Chicks, and they put on a great performance because they sang it as a group, and they sang and harmonized so well together, and it just made the sound so different for this type of song, and it was beautiful. This performance by the Chicks was at the Super Bowl in 2003. Their tight harmonies and emotional delivery is what made this performance stunning. It was an all-female country rendition. It was moving, and it was a moment of unity and elegance during a tense political time in America. This was actually something interesting about this performance. It was only a couple of weeks later, after they performed this national anthem, that Natalie Maines, the lead singer of the Dixie Chicks, went on stage in Texas and said that George Bush being from Texas makes them embarrassed to be from Texas. And when they said that, America boycotted. They didn't buy any more of their songs. They didn't buy any more of their albums. They didn't go see them in concert. Their career was essentially over after making that comment. And it never was the same after. We were just in a really weird time in America, a very vulnerable time in America during that comment. So it was not a good choice. It was right after 9/11. But it just goes to show how quick you can fall. They go from singing one of the most beautiful renditions of our national anthem to completely falling off. And I just found that very interesting. Now, this next national anthem rendition I am going to play comes from Kiss. This version has no lyrics with it. It's just Kiss doing what Kiss does the best, and that's playing their songs using nothing but an electric guitar. And that's what they're doing for this performance. This was performed at Super Bowl 1999 in Miami, Florida. And the reason this one is one of the best renditions, I believe, of the national anthem is because this performance brought an unexpected intensity, and it brought a theatrical power to the anthem. It had fireworks, guitars, glam rock energy. They turned the anthem into a bold, patriotic spectacle. Usually people aren't satisfied unless they hear the words sung, but the crowd at the Super Bowl was going insane after just hearing Kiss play the national anthem on the guitar. That's how they started the Super Bowl, with a guitar riff from Kiss, and they played the whole daggone performance just using the guitar. I loved it. One of the best ever. So many people have also used the guitar to portray the national anthem in a performance. The first to do it was Jimi Hendrix. His song almost made my list, but I think Kiss did a little bit better of a job than Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix played his rendition at Woodstock 1969 using nothing but a guitar. Metallica has done it, but so has Kiss, and I believe that Kiss did it the best. Definitely a great rendition of our country's national anthem. All right, folks, what about Luther Vandross? I mean, listen at what a voice from this man right here. I mean, I don't think that this man has a false note in any song that he sings. He performed this rendition at the Super Bowl in 1997 in New Orleans. It was smooth, it was rich, it was soulful. Luther Vandross delivered a heartfelt rendition of this song with warmth and depth. It was elegant, it was dignified, and it just showcased the beauty of the national anthem without over-singing it. Now, finally, the last rendition of one of the best live performances of the national anthem of all time. Some people say that this next one, and this is the last one, some people say that this next one will go down in history as being the best live performance and the best live rendition of the national anthem, and that is from Miss Whitney Houston. This was done in 1991 at the Super Bowl in Tampa, Florida. Like I said, it was often considered the greatest anthem performance of all time, and why not? She has flawless vocals, emotional depth, and soaring power. And this song was just right in the middle of another time when the country was in turmoil. We was at the height of the Gulf War. And it just really turned this moment into a historical moment. I mean, can you think of anything else that is more patriotic than hearing a live rendition of our country's national anthem? And that's why, folks, you have it played at every major event in America, at any baseball game, basketball game, Super Bowl. We like to honor our country by singing. Music is a gift from God. There is no other better way to celebrate and to bring honor to something than through music. I really do feel that. And these people on the list, I feel like, put on some of the best performances of the national anthem of all time. And there is a difference of recorded studio national anthems and live performance anthems. It's just something different about live. You can't fake live. You can't fake the vocals. It's real. It's raw. It's not stripped down any at all. You have what you have when you have a live performance. That's why live is always better than pre-recorded. Live performances are always better than studio performances because you cannot match the live. And I felt like that since we are in the most patriotic time of the year, I wanted to start off the cuff with Adam Banks this week with a patriotic topic, celebrating our national anthem with some of the best people to ever sing it. But folks, we have a great show ahead of you today. You are listening to Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Radio Lex only exists in our community because of the generosity of supporting members like Marilyn Daniel. Thank you for your ongoing commitment to the voice of the people. To learn how you can become a supporting member, visit radiolex.us/donate.
Majira haya ya baridi, linda kila mtu katika familia yako kwa kupata chanjo zako za korona na mafua za kila mwaka. Jifunze zaidi katika lefchede.org.
Radio Lex is proud to have the support of the Lextropolis, that digital magazine that is a sweeping the nation. With over 10,000 readers and climbing, serving Central Kentucky since 2015. Engaging local writers, models, and photographers to tell the true narrative of our community. For more information, call 859-429-1442 or go to www.thelextropolis.com. The Lextropolis, for the people, by the people.
Hello, what's up, everyone? I'm Adam Banks, and I'm the host of Off the Cuff. You are listening to Radio Lex, the voice of the people, WLXU 93.9 FM, Lexington. Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Over the last couple of weeks on the show, I have been talking with the audience about some of my top favorite albums of all time. And while these are my personal list, these are certainly not the best-selling albums. But these particular albums that I have been going over are my personal favorite albums of all time. And what I've been doing from week to week is I've been going through my top 10 favorite albums by genre. I started off talking about the country genre, and then I talked about the rock and roll genre. And then last week on the show, I talked about my top 10 favorite rap albums. Well, this week on the show, folks, I would like to continue my topics of telling you guys my top 10 favorite albums of all time, but this time in the genre of pop music. Now you'll notice I come into Michael Jackson's Billie Jean, because how can you have a top 10 album list without having the King of Pop on the list? Folks, this album is from his Thriller album, which actually, folks, has to be the best-selling pop album of all time. Historically, it is. There has not been another album like it. I mean, so many hits from this album. You've got Baby Be Mine, Beat It, Thriller, Billie Jean. You got Pretty Young Thing, PYT. You got The Lady of My Life. And not to mention Thriller, which is one of the biggest Halloween songs of all time. This album was produced by Quincy Jones, the creator of The Fresh Prince, and one of the most celebrated music producers of all time. But he is the mastermind behind the Thriller album, and Michael Jackson's Thriller album has to make my list. Now, folks, when you're going through pop singers and you're trying to put together a top 10 list, yes, Michael Jackson makes the list twice, because his album Dangerous is right up there with his Thriller album. This was the album he released right after the Thriller album. This is the Dangerous album. This album has songs like this one right here, Jam, which he had Michael Jordan partner up with him, and they did a music video together where Michael is the best at basketball, Jackson is the best at singing, and they collaborated to combine their art together. You also have this song right here, In the Closet, which is a song that goes under the radar for a lot of Michael Jackson fans. You've got Black and White. I mean, Black and White is the song of the 90s for Michael Jackson. He performed this one at the Super Bowl. This is the video that has Macaulay Culkin acting like a crazy teen, jumping on his bed, aggravating his parents, playing his music too loud. It's got Will You Be There on there, which is kind of like a throwback to his Jackson 5 days. You've got Heal the World on there. Heal the World is a slower pace version of what you're used to hearing Michael saying. It's about unity. It's about bringing the world together. It's got Remember the Time on this album. Woo! Yes. All right, folks, there are also other albums that I want to talk about. Another top 10 pop album of all time, according to me, is Miley Cyrus's Bangers album. This was the album that put Miley on the map. This was the album that made Miley Cyrus go from Hannah Montana to who she is today. This is her Carefree album. This is where she expresses herself. And from this album, we got songs like Wrecking Ball. We got songs like Adore You. Miley, during this era, she had her short blonde, choppy hair. She was a freak. She always had her tongue hanging out of her mouth. And I say she was a freak in a good way, not a bad way. She was being very expressive, and this song actually was a #1 hit for Miley. How hard is it to get a #1 hit? Well, Miley got one right here from this album. This was from her Bangers album. This is one of my favorite Miley Cyrus's songs. This is called We Can't Stop. This is a good vibe song for the summer. This is a good vibe song to listen to with your friends. I miss this era of Miley Cyrus. Yes, she still does great music. I would consider Miley as being one of the best female vocalists of our time, but this album will go down as her best. And I think that a lot of people will agree with me. A lot of people are always asking, Miley, are we going to get another Bangers album? Are we going to get something like that? She says she's not thought about it, but maybe. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I am a Lady Gaga fan. I do think Lady Gaga is the best female performer of all time. And her album, The Fame, which was her debut album, definitely makes my list as being one of the best pop albums of all time. This has got #1 hits on it like Just Dance. It's got Paparazzi on it. It's got Love Game. It's got Starstruck. And it's also got Poker Face, which, come on, that alone makes this album great. Another #1 hit by Lady Gaga. Now, she's come out with some great albums, but it's hard to deny this being her best, because this is the album that's got the songs that people all over the world know. Paparazzi, Just Dance, Love Game, Poker Face, the list goes on and on. Now, coming up next on my list as one of my favorite pop albums of all time comes from Justin Timberlake's album. It's called Future Sex / Love Sounds. That's the name of his album. This album really catapulted Timberlake's career. This song was the song in the mid-2000s. This song just started getting big when I went off to college at Morehead State. And everybody was playing this song everywhere. This is the album that made Justin Timberlake a pop icon. You have all kinds of great songs on this album. You've got Sexy Back. You've got Love Stone. You've got Summer Love on this album. You've got What Goes Around Comes Around on this album, which they say is a song he wrote about Britney Spears cheating on him. When we're talking about male pop stars, yes, Michael Jackson is up there, but hey, so is JT. I'm not a big Justin Timberlake fan, but you cannot deny that this album that he put out in 2006 was his best one. And it goes down as being one of the best pop albums of all time, according to me. Now, next up on my list, folks, is an album that may surprise you. Now, this album comes from Madonna, and this is Madonna's American Life album. Now, Madonna released this album in 2003. Now, a lot of people are wondering, out of all albums for Madonna, you put her American Life album as one of your favorites? Well, folks, I have a personal history with this album, American Life from Madonna. When I was a kid, it wasn't often that I got to buy stuff when I would go to Walmart. And I remember we were going to Walmart. My dad said, hey, go to the CD aisle and pick out any CD that you want to buy. I'll buy it for you. And you know what? I started searching it around, trying to find a CD. There was nothing that I found that just was tickling my fancy. And then I ran across this Madonna CD. And I was like, you know, I don't really listen to Madonna. I've never bought a Madonna album. But there is nothing else that I want to buy. So let me just buy this. It's Madonna. It can't be too bad. So I bought it, listened to it, and was like, you know what? This is a different sounding Madonna than what most people are used to hearing. Most people, when they hear Madonna, they hear these real poppy, sexual sounds. Well, a lot of these songs on this album, American Life, was her singing acoustic songs. Like this one right here. It's called Static Process. And she's just singing about being herself. And it really showcased her vocal ability and her ability to perform without doing all kinds of sexual escapades. And it really just spoke volumes about her as a performer. And it was an album unlike anything that I'd ever heard from her. And it was a really good album to have as a kid. It made me appreciate the art of Madonna. And then finally, folks, I've got one more album to share on the list of one of my favorite pop albums of all time, and that comes from the Black Eyed Peas with their Monkey Business album, released in 2005. I also personally own this album. This album has all kinds of songs on there. Songs you'll probably be very familiar with, like this little ditty right here called My Humps. So many great Black Eyed Peas songs from that album. It's a shame they don't really make music anymore. They're all talented in their own right, so they all kind of went out to do their own thing. Fergie being the most successful out of every one of them, but that's no surprise there. Fergie was such a force for the Black Eyed Peas. I used to own this album and listen to the Black Eyed Peas. This is a great album to listen to on a very hot summer day when you're just vibing and chilling. Pop music, it's always been the heartbeat of culture. It's bold, it's emotional, it's impossible to ignore. So there's a lot of dance anthems, there's personal ballads. These albums that I've talked about, they helped shape who I was. I mean, it was not only me, but people in my generation. Whether it was Michael Jackson or Miley Cyrus, these records were the soundtrack to my life. So, pop music, there's gotta be a time and a place for it. Pop music is so universal, it's so general, but that's what I love about it. It's always an easy genre to go to if you just want to put on some good vibey music, is pop music. So this was very difficult, coming up with a top 10 list. Even though I only had 7 on my list, I just couldn't think of 3 more that I wanted to put on that would be justice. When I have a problem of deciding, and I have to decide or just not put anything, I just don't put anything. I don't want to weaken my list. But I felt like, folks, that was a very strong list, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And that pretty much wraps up, folks, all of my albums from every genre. I've covered them all. I've covered rap, country, rock, and now pop. So you now have an idea of the type of music I listen to and what I consider being the best pop albums of all time. And for that matter, all of the great albums of all time are out there. And remember, it's hard to pick an album. It's not just picking a song. To make a great album, it needs more than one song on there that makes the album good. I think a really good album needs to have at least 4 or 5 songs on there that could be #1 hits. And if you've got that, then you've got a good album. All right, folks, we still have lots more Off the Cuff with Adam Banks coming at you live after these words. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Hello, what's up, everyone? I'm Adam Banks, and I'm the host of Off the Cuff. You are listening to Radio Lex, the voice of the people, WLXU 93.9 FM, Lexington.
Radio Lex is proud to have the support of founding community partner and State Farm agent, Deborah Hensley. Deborah believes in giving every member of our community a chance to let their voice be heard, to unify and strengthen our city. To learn more, you can visit deborahhensley.com or call 859-276-3244.
In a media climate where depth and diversity are increasingly hard to find, Radio Lex broadcasts independent voices of the community 24/7 in English on 93.9 FM and in Spanish on 95.7 FM. We can't do it without you. Support the voice of the people today. Visit radiolex.us/donate and support Lexington's community radio right now.
Radio Lex has the support of Barn Hill Chimney Company, providing chimney sweep, inspection, and repair services to Lexington for more than 25 years. You can learn more or schedule an appointment at barnhillchimney.com.
Radio Lex only exists in our community because of the generosity of supporting members like Marilyn Daniel. Thank you for your ongoing commitment to the voice of the people. To learn how you can become a supporting member, visit radiolex.us/donate.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. On the last segment, I was talking about my top 10 favorite pop albums of all time, but those certainly weren't the best-selling pop albums of all time. Some of them would make the top 10 list, but not all of them. The album Thriller is obviously the biggest record of all time. It's the biggest selling album of all genres. Rock, country, rap, gospel, you name it. The Thriller album from Michael Jackson in 1982, it surpassed everything. It's the number one album with 51.3 million sold worldwide. Coming in at number 2 as the top 10 best-selling pop albums of all time is Whitney Houston's The Bodyguard album, which was a movie soundtrack album from 1992. Number 3 on the list is Michael Jackson's Bad album from 1987. It sold 21.5 million copies. Celine Dion's Falling Into You makes the list at number 4. Makes the list at number 4. Number 5, Michael Jackson makes the list again with his Dangerous album in 1991. Adele makes the list at number 6 with her 21 album. Number 7 is Celine Dion's Let's Talk About Love album from 1997. Madonna's The Immaculate Collection from 1990 comes in at number 8. Mariah Carey's Music Box album from 1993 comes in at number 9. And finally, Britney Spears' album, Baby One More Time, tops out the list at number 10 with 20.1 million copies sold worldwide. That was back when you'll notice that all of the best-selling albums are typically albums from the time when people were buying albums. Now people don't have to buy them. They just have to sign up for a streaming service. I don't really know how they incorporate record sales now because I don't really know of many people still going out and buying individual albums. You may be, and I'm sure there are people that do that. But the sales have to significantly be down because of streaming. So I don't know if anybody will ever be able to surpass these numbers right here that these artists have done. I mean, these artists were selling albums back when people were buying albums. So the millions that they have sold, I don't know, folks. I don't know if it will ever be topped. But this seems like a great place to take Off the Cuff's Song of the Week. And how about a little Chapel Roan? This is Pink Pony Club. Enjoy the song. We will be back after it's over.
You wanted me to stay, but I can't ignore the crazy visions of me.
It is currently 90 degrees outside here in Lexington. It is hot. We are reaching 100-degree temperatures almost every day this summer. It's been a hot, hot summer. Thank God for air conditioner. And today is the day to show appreciation for air conditioners, because today's national holiday, folks, is National Air Conditioning Appreciation Day. I have had cars without working air conditioners, and you don't realize how much you need an air conditioner until it is gone. I mean, who is out there with me? Who has had a car where you've had to roll down the window to have your own air conditioner? The hot heat is what air conditions you, and when you need a little bit more air, you just speed up. Not the safest way to have air conditioner, but that's how we have to have it if we don't have it in our car. But folks, the Persians was the first people to really use air conditioning. They used these underground irrigation systems to keep cool, and that was in 900 BC. In 312 BC, the Romans built their first aqueducts, which is structures to convey water. In 1902, Willis Haviland Carrier invents the air conditioner, and in 1929, the first home air conditioner was installed. Now listen, the first AC unit in the White House cost $30,000, and they were one of the first people to ever get it before it was sold out to homes. The White House was. After World War II, air conditioners became a status symbol, thus driving up sales. It was seen as a thing of status to have an air conditioner. If you had an air conditioner, you were a have-not, or you were a have instead of a have-not. It was considered a high status signal to have an air-conditioned home. The first car with an air conditioner was launched in 1939. I wonder what those people did before that. I guess they did what I did. Whenever they wanted a little bit more air, they would just speed up. The term air conditioning was coined by Stuart Kramer. By 2009, about 87% of U.S. households had air conditioning. So most people have it. I don't know how people can stand it without. I get it. There's all kinds of people out there with homes without air conditioning, and they do stand it. I sound very spoiled when I say that, and I shouldn't be that insensitive to say I don't know how people can stand it, because there are people out there that do have to stand it. It is something that you can withstand. It's not easy, but there are so many people out there that do it. So listen, today's the day to celebrate it. Bring attention to AC maintenance. If your AC needs it, you can just look around at your air conditioner, make sure it's still working properly. You can find out the fascinating history about air conditioning on this day. You can get a maintenance checkup if you want to. Or one way to celebrate AC Appreciation Day is to give your air conditioner a rest. A lot of the times we like to run that thing all day long, all day, every day during the summer. Give it a break. Maybe not on a 90-degree weather day, but at night, maybe turn it down a little bit when it's not so hot in the morning. Keep it low, or at least turn it off. Give it just a little break. Thank God for air conditioners. And I swear, I don't think they've ever come out with an air conditioner as cold as what a window air conditioner can give you. Those old school window air conditioners blew out some of the coldest air I've ever felt. Still to this day, you can't mimic the air that blew out of those window air conditioners. You could buy a $20,000 AC unit, hook it up in your house, and it's only going to blow out as cold as air as what those window air conditioners did. So if they could find a way to make the air that cold, hey, I'm for it. And I'll put in a big old fancy system, because the window air conditioners, they are an eyesore for your home. But man, if you're not about the looks and you're just about efficiency, a window air conditioner is the way to go. But I always wondered, if you have a window air conditioner in your home, how safe is that? Isn't that just open access for people just to push that air conditioner through your window and just break in your house? I don't know. I've never installed one. Maybe it's so secure in your window, it's almost impossible to push out. Maybe it's even stronger than the glass that's in your window. But I always wondered that. When people have window air conditioners, are they an easy target to be broken in on? I don't know. Maybe somebody on the show thread that's installed those or had those put in their house could tell me. All right, folks, we still have one more segment to go right here on Off the Cuff. We'll be right back.
At Reading Lex, we want to keep our community safe.
Are you protected from discrimination in public accommodations like shops and restaurants?
Per the Lexington Human Rights Commission, A Lexington local ordinance protects individuals against discrimination in public accommodations.
It is unlawful practice to deny an individual the full and equal enjoyment of goods, services, facilities, privileges, advantages, and accommodations on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, and gender identity.
Radio Lex is committed to providing trustworthy information to our community. For more information, visit radiolex.us or lexhumanrights.org.
Radio Lex is proud to have the support of founding community partner and State Farm agent Deborah Hensley. Deborah believes in giving every member of our community a chance to let their voice be heard to unify and strengthen our city. To learn more, you can visit DeborahHensley.com or call 859-276-3244.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Last segment of the hour. The second round of the NBA draft took place this past Thursday. It was a week ago today. We went over the results of the first round of the draft last week on the show. But before we went off the air, we wasn't able to give the second round results because the results haven't been released yet, but now they have. The second round is now complete and the draft results are out. So unlike the first round picks, the second rounders are not bound by the rookie wage scale. So when you get drafted in the second round, you're not guaranteed any money. You're not guaranteed a contract. Their salaries are negotiated directly with their respective teams. Now, the league minimum or two-way, they call it, they often sign contracts at the league minimum or two-way contracts if you do get drafted in the second round. These contracts allow players to split time between the NBA team and its G League affiliation with different salaries for each level. There is less guaranteed money. So the second round contracts, they have less guaranteed money often compared to the first round. So you do get a little bit of guaranteed money, but it's not even in the same ballpark as a first round draft pick. For instance, getting drafted first in the top 5 of the first round, you're going to make $20 million. Being in the top 5 of the second round, you may make $300,000. So you see, it's not even in the same ballpark. In the past, second round picks have signed big deals ranging from a few $1 million over 4 years, like LeBron James' contract. He signed a small contract because he was not even drafted, but then he ended up signing a 4-year deal, which gave him first-round money. So these people, if they prove themselves, these people who got drafted in the second round, if they prove themselves and they show that they are a good part of the team, they can contribute, they could end up with a first-round type of contract where they get signed for 4 years, they get a lot of money. The specific salary amount, it reflects the player's draft position and perceived value, with later picks generally earning less. Now, the time between second round picks remained at 4 minutes like it always has, and that was something that the first round did different. They didn't have 4 minutes. They only had 3 minutes between each draft pick, but for the second round, it was 4 minutes. And if you're wondering who went in the second round, I put the complete list on Off the Cuff's Facebook page. You can check that out at facebook.com/offthecuff with Adam Banks. But let's go over the top 5 draft picks from the second round in the NBA draft. Rasheer Fleming was the first pick in the second round. That is the 31st overall pick. He went to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he was from Utah. Noah Penda went pick 32nd. He was from France. He went to it looks like that he was drafted to Boston, but traded to Orlando in the same night. Sion James was pick 33. He was from Duke and got drafted to the Charlotte Hornets. Ryan Kalkbrenner was from Creighton, and he went to the Charlotte Hornets. And Johnny Broome from Auburn was drafted to the Philadelphia 76ers. And that puts a bow completely and officially on this year's NBA season. Now that the playoffs are over and the champions have been crowned, we now have the new draft class for next year's upcoming NBA season. So all NBA talk will settle down until it begins once again in November. Folks, a big week here in Lexington. It's Lexington Burger Week starting. I believe it starts next week. I've been seeing people talk about Burger Week coming up. I'm excited. I could eat a cheeseburger every day. If you could say, Adam, you have one meal that you could eat every day, and it's the only meal that you're ever able to eat, I'm going burger and fries all day. So Burger Week in Lexington is my time. It's happening next week, and there are so many places in Lexington that exist that's been here for so long, and I've never been. So I want to make it a go next week to go to as many new burger places as I can, because I can eat a burger every day, and report back on some of my favorite burgers that I have tried right here in town. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps up another episode of Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. If you like what you heard today, folks, you'll probably like our previous episodes. We release them all on podcast, whether you listen on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, or wherever you get your podcast. We here at Off the Cuff are on all kinds of different podcasting platforms, so please check us out. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to get out of here for now. I will be back same time, same place next week right here on WLXU 93.9 FM. If you want to follow the show on social media, you can do that by going to all social media platforms. It's Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, or you could stream the show, or you could follow me, the host, on social media at The Adam Banks. We release new episodes every Thursday from 4 to 5, which means we will be back then. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the King of Radio, Adam Banks, and this is Off the Cuff. I'll catch you down the road.